Transport Minister Louis Takyu has given assurance that there will be no fare increases or adjustments this year for public transport. He also promises better bus services by the end of 2014, especially during peak periods. It comes as the government ramps up bus capacity this year with its $1.1 billion bus services enhancement program.
Latest statistics show overall satisfaction of public transport services declined slightly from a year ago, and it's more significant for bus services. But commuters can soon expect improvements over the next 5 years. Operators will pump in 250 buses, while the government will fund 550. Of these, 300 will be for existing services and 250 for new routes. Overall, 70% of the 800 new buses will be added over the first 3 years. Operators will also be expected to deliver higher service levels beyond the current quality of service standards required by the Public Transport Council. First, operators would have to ensure buses are less crowded during peak hours.
The PTOs will be required to reduce the loading levels for all basic bus services from the current 95% to 85%. Commuters can expect about 10% more capacity along the more crowded stretches of bus routes during peak hours. With more buses injected to spread the load, bus frequencies will also go up. Overall, this will mean shorter waiting times for commuters during peak hours, a higher likelihood of getting onto the first arriving bus, and a more comfortable ride.
95% of all feeder buses must operate within 10-minute scheduled intervals or better. The remaining 5% within 15-minute intervals compared to the current 30 minutes. These must be sustained over 2 hours during the morning and evening peaks. Operators must also improve the frequencies of trunk routes.
What government try to achieve is that they want to set a standard for the future bus service level. This is what they try to achieve. And because of that, it is not that PTC become irrelevant. PTC still overlook the overall public transportation.
While the focus in the initial years will be to enhance service levels for the existing bus services, commuters can also expect better connectivity in the future. Now, 40 new bus routes will be introduced progressively over the next 5 years, typically in new towns like Sengkang, Punggol and Yishun. Now, the new bus routes are also expected to enhance local connectivity within housing estates.
There will also be 8 more parallel bus routes running along MRT lines and expressways to connect major towns to the city centre. 6 have been identified so far. As for fares, Mr. Lee said there should not be a rush to implement this year's adjustment as the fare formula undergoes a review. But the new formula, which will be ready in 2013, could take into consideration the fact that adjustments were not made this year.